Okay, it is recording. I'll just keep this window open because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll click that away. Click, click, click. So, what do we have? I mean, first, this is now Mageia being on my laptop. And I will call this video part 2, Mageia on hardware, VM deception. And why is it VM deception? For example, if you remember in part 1, I opened this up, I went to browser network, and that was in a virtual machine. And this didn't show up on VirtualBox. But it showed up on Unraid under the virtualization. So I guess it would work under virt-manager. However, doesn't really matter. So we can see that there's sometimes things are sandboxed. It's the same when you search for the HP printer here. Very often you can't find it. It's I think it's sandboxed. And this sometimes happens obviously here with the VM SMBs, with the Windows network shares. So this installation was a real nightmare. Was it Mageia's fault? Nope. What I had is I seem to have another trouble laptop. It's an HP laptop. And did we not have information here? Control ching. Let's see what I got. Then you can see a little bit of what I have here. Where would I see that? Hardware? There should be hardware. Browse and configure hardware. Keyboard. Let's see if they show us something here. Deduction. So yeah, SATA controller. Nobody wants to know this. On mouse memory. So we have nothing here. Great. Absolutely great. Love it. So it's a normal Intel graphic card on board, of course. USB port, keyboard, mouse. Doesn't show us much here, no? So it's normal Intel i5 1.6. Got 12 GB RAM, and here's the device. It's an NVMe, and you can see I have an SDA here. That is a USB thing. So the way I installed, first I lost my nerves because I tried to install lots of things on my old Mac Mini from 2009. There was Proxmox on it, a very, very old installation, and I tried lots of things. It just didn't want to work. So back to Mageia. Why I like Mageia to be on my laptop? Because I do most of my recordings here for the channel, I would think. That means I run virtual machines, so I needed something. Yeah, I have to install the keyring here to make that work, but I'm okay for now. So, see, I installed here GhostBSD. I come to GhostBSD later, not in this video. And as if you remember, I had on VirtualBox, here's my Stellix Office. We did this online, and my DZME Linux, that's just my channel. So if I have to work on my channel, I just fire up this box, and I don't have to log in any YouTube, Google account, anything on my let's call it daily driver. Even though I have different jobs here. So the base model, the baseline here, this is my base, right? The base has to be able to scan. So I need HP lab. Yeah, I need my scanner here, my printer and scanner. Then usually I need, what do I have here? Graphics, document scanner, right? So I need this because, as I said, often my wife comes and, oh, can you scan this for me? And of course I can. So where do I put this here? Yeah, here. And so I need to be able scanning and printing. And we still have our super old HP printer. It still does a job. It's not ink, it's toner. So it doesn't get old really, and it works. It just works. So that's a good thing. Yeah. From all the things I like, Mageia was the only one where I could install virt-manager with one click and VirtualBox with one click. So I didn't have to worry about anything here. You just you install it and off it goes. So where are we here? Just to show you, just in case. So what did I do? I think I used the OZ. So let's see. That you install the right version, right? So if I go here, VirtualBox, So VirtualBox, general purpose, full virtual. I installed this, and that installed the kernels and everything. So it's really just the main package here. VirtualBox kernel, no, where is it? VirtualBox, a general purpose full virtualization hardware. So 7114, I used that one. I think there are different versions, but it installed the kernel, no problems with that. Yeah, desktop latest. So it does everything. I didn't need to do anything except adding myself to the user, to the VirtualBox user. Where do we have that? Let's see. I should be still able to go back. Add user Dirk VBox users. I think that's what I did. Yeah. However, so there was that. And virt-manager was extreme same easy. You just look for this. There it is. So I just clicked on this and installed everything what it need to do. And then just right out of the box they work. As you see here, I still have to add my root in. So I think, oh yeah, same thing here. I think that goes away when I add myself to the group. So how do I do this? I'm the lazy guy, right? So I go, I used Catfish for a long time, so I just use my notes here on my Nextcloud, and I do everything now locally, because you see they switch to network off and all these things, and yeah. Just this one. Of course, it's a little bit different as we saw here. Terminal, not the other terminal. Then I go in SU. So in root, I'm not didn't add myself to. I did this already. VBox users, and now I just go to no. Where is it? Oh, I need to add myself here to the virt group, but I need to know exactly how it's called. I might have it in my documents then. Files, click here. Scripts and dockers. Yep. Open and reader upgrade. No. Oh, I don't have it here. Interesting. Back to my notes. I think it's just called libvirt, the group. So I'm a little bit surprised that I don't have it. Okay, yeah, so I'm taking a little bit of time here. So Mageia, in general, I would say absolute amazing. Absolute amazing. Let's Google quick. So if you go virt-manager, let's see what it tells us. Oh yeah, be careful here with AI. Yeah, libvirt, that's the group. Okay, libvirt, that's what I thought. Libvirt. And that, oh dear me. This worked. Oh, libvirt doesn't exist then? Oh, hold on. We will not know, right? Okay, that wasn't it. Add user to. I think that didn't work. That didn't work. Oh. Oh man, I always have to clear it, otherwise we will not know, right? Okay, just look how it looks like. Add user options login. did that already. How did it not work? Oh no, so yeah, I'm embarrassing myself. I'll just leave that now because I still want to do that video about Mageia. Oh dear me. Let's try it like this. If they show it in Mageia. Okay, we take this. I don't think they have user mode here. Did I just close my terminal? Of course I did, right? So let's see this. Libvirt. Okay. That's why. Does KVM exist? Yeah, KVM existed. All right. So let's see. Where is it? You see, I always get sidetracked. Click. Nah. Might have to look into it. I think it's a keyring thing I need. But I'm not doing it now. I'll do that next time. Click. However, so yeah, man, I get sidetracked, right? So easy install, everything works. It's just very, very, very nice. It just works, and that is great. That's what I wanted. Because I do lots of installation, and I want to use it as my daily drive. But for example, I don't want to go here in Google, anything Google, nothing Facebook, nothing else. I don't actually ever go on Facebook, but Google had a lot, and so then I will have one virtual machine where I just do my work stuff. Because it doesn't mean that the websites I have to use for work are safe, right? And this system, I want to have it clean and clear. I know this is always working. So if I have something compromised from Google or whatsoever, it is just this one machine. If I have something wrong on work, it's really just this machine. There is no other logging except for work on YouTube, what I call here VirtMe Linux. That is really just anything Google, so doesn't really matter there. And Office, that will be my Office package where I just do my work, my online work I have to do. So I need the email to run there and certain things. All right, what else do I have? I must say, I mean, I'll tell you in a moment how I managed this. So Mageia, they did their homework. But I used, I don't know, 2-3 hours yesterday. I wanted to make a video yesterday, just install it and off we go. And my laptop is again cursed. You know, I've got that laptop with the NVIDIA graphic card and an Intel graphic card, so this is a nightmare. And now I've got this HP laptop, and I figured out this is a nightmare. So, because I wanted to install it, and every time I got greeted from the installer, you need an EFI partition, FAT32. And yeah, I did this. I tried everything. I again, the usual thing. I went to legacy boot. I went to UEFI boot. EFI boot. I used everything back and forward, and oh, this was a nightmare, and I always get stuck. Then I used Ventoy first, and I said, oh yeah, must be Ventoy's fault. So I used a different USB stick, and that actually allowed me to go in a real legacy mode. With Ventoy, I somehow always ended up in kind of a UEFI. So when I booted from a normal, so I just put the ISO file on a single USB stick, not Ventoy, just as usual, you're supposed to do it. And it let me boot really in the legacy. So I didn't get greeted by the EFI. So I did everything like I would have done with Celix or have done with Celix. And guess what? It's not working. At least I went into the, what's it called? Professional installation. So you have more options there, like you have mount points and stuff like that, which you don't have in the ordinary installer. I don't want to make a video about that because I don't know too much about it, and I don't want to teach or tell something which is maybe not right. So, however, it did not work. What worked on the end, that was when I let the normal installer, right, I mean, on the normal installer you can't choose where the grub has to go. It just says EFI and there it goes. And guess what? It wrote the boot, the grub into my USB stick, the Ventor USB stick. And well, you know what? It works. You fire, you fire it up, and it boots, of course, from the EFI. It wrote the grub there. And I said, yeah, Dirk, not a big deal. You just use grub install. And I tried that, and it's grub2, so I had to go grub2 install, and no. And I used dev NVMe because it's a bloody NVMe thing. And I think that screws things up a lot. So NVMe seems to be a little bit more difficult. I heard that people have with servers some stuff going on. There seem to be special troublemakers, so I'm not a fan of it, actually. I like the normal spinning drives, SSDs, these kind of things. NVMe, yeah, I don't know, right? However, having said this, so my workaround is after almost 3 hours, and my dog was even coming down and was wondering why I'm not coming up, if I'm mad with her or whatsoever. Look at that Ventoy. See, I put the Ventoy thing, and this is a small USB stick. This is like tiny, tiny, tiny. After what's his name, Space Invader 1 Ed taught me how to nick USB sticks, so I did that with my Unraid server. So thank you very much, Space Invader 1, and congratulations for your promotion or job at Unraid. However, so I got this little USB stick because I don't want to have a 2-meter USB stick hanging out of my laptop, because that is just not anymore good. So I've got this tiny USB stick in, put Mageia on, and you see, I even tried, okay, I said, okay, Dirk, maybe you're just plain stupid and you can't do any more basic partitioning and boot flags and stuff like that. So I said, let Windows do it. So I got Windows on the to install Windows 10 to install on the hard drive, and then I fired up Mageia, said use existing disk, and yeah, it couldn't do it. And Windows always, because it didn't just write in that bloody EFI, the grub entry in that EFI, it could not write on the NVMe on the EFI partition. At least now I'm satisfied because Windows did it. Windows fired up, and because it went into the because Mageia formatted the big partition for home and all that stuff. So it fired up the rescue thing. So for some reason, I don't know if that's Mageia or not. I don't think so, because usually I just have legacy. I don't like UFI. And so it doesn't work. For some reason, nobody can write on that NVMe boot sector and get grub into it. Having said this, OpenManDriver just did it. Some just, I don't know what it is. Some systems do it, some don't. I couldn't make it. I will not blame Mageia for it, because, you know, there's so much going on, you know, with computers nowadays. And to be honest, I think they did their homework. I mean, look, everything worked. I installed HPlib, no problem, worked fine. I installed VirtualBox, no problem. No tinkering around. You just click on the VirtualBox thing in your software management, which is the RPM thingy, not the Drake, and it just works. Then I installed virt-manager, just works. I mean, this is what I like, you know, it just works. That's that's the one, you know. So now I can. Recording was a little bit more difficult. Maybe I have to make a video about that, because usually get greeted with 264 not installed. And then you look up and you find tons of solutions which don't work, and tons of posts where it says solved, but nobody knows how. And maybe I have to share it in an extra video. However, part 2. So everything works. So I feel myself now totally free to use whatever I want. Yeah, I have to look that up too. There are different solutions which of course didn't work for me, but I don't need that yet. I can't enumerate USB. I will figure that out. However, but I can use what I want. I can just install it. This one I just add. You go on add. You see old from OpenManDriver, because that's where I created these two, right? We did this on at least this one. Salix terminal and Salix from the live ISO file. And in the virtual machine, of course, worked. Remember, Salix on my laptop was not possible. Or in the on virt-manager, I think it was. Where was it? I don't know anyway. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I saw it, said it in a video. So I've got my head is so full from trying to get stuff on the Mac Mini, getting my head shampooed here, my brain from the bloody laptop, not wanting to install NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, Mageia, and yeah, back and forward, a nightmare. And I tried also things my Calculate Linux, um, yeah. Calculate Linux has allergy to. I mean, I will try it again because this is now a different installation. It just went totally without any trouble. So I'll try to install it on virt-manager here. It might just work there fine. Hopefully it does. On my Unread virtualizer, it does not work. I've got an NVIDIA graphic card. I got greeted with a black screen. I tried different ways. I tried Mesa. Everything basic. Forget about it. It just doesn't want it. Can you install it on this laptop? Most likely. I mean, you can boot it up and it's there. So that's already something. Yeah, if you get to the live image. If you can't get to the live image, it might just have allergy to virtual machines, which is a nightmare because I like to play around with it. So why did I take OpenMandriva off? It does and did everything I wanted to do. It did a good job. The only thing I had trouble with was virt-manager, which is kind of funky. I don't think I had that with, but that's a different version where I got the LXQT ISO file. So, however, it did everything. Sleeping, waking up, everything just worked. Okay, I'm a distro hopper or something like that. So, and because I make this channel, you see, virtual machines are deception because, like, best example here, if you go and browse, this did not pop up in a virtual machine. All I did here was going in a firewall and switch the firewall off. Later I will fine tune this a little bit, but I have a super firewall. I've got OpenSense and DNS over TLS unbound, and it blocks absolute everything Microsoft here. So my wife was complaining, I can't get my email. I said, yeah, you have to switch Wi-Fi off on her phone, right? I don't want it. I don't need spyware in my home network, right? So no way, nothing like that. And yeah, so I'm working on making lots of things local available. That's why usually I'm gone from Vault Warden, Bitwarden, Vault Warden. It's a great password manager, I tell you that. So the same here. I mean, almost everybody got it. So what I'm using here, and I can install it right away now because I haven't done this yet. So, oh yeah, and then we can look how this thing is called. So that they make a star on the welcome screen that you can recognize it. This thing is RPM Drake. Okay, that's the one. So, and I use KeyPassXC. KeyPassXC and 275 on one release. Let's cross-platform. Let's go for this. Instance everything necessary. Usual works without any trouble. And look, I mean, this is what I like. I mean, the software manager is good enough for me. I always work with Synaptics. In Calculate Linux, I think I got off it when Porthole wasn't available anymore. Porthole is still available, but hasn't been maintained for 9 years, and I think that's why they took it off. I would say Porthole works like OpenBox. You know, OpenBox is a Windows manager where I would say it reached the point of it's done, it's good. There's nothing left to do. So I like OpenBox. I don't like more than these 1,000 lines configuration. So I will show you later what I like a lot, and I'd definitely put that here on Mageia too. But first, maybe in a virtual machine, and I will use most likely open Mandriva for that because I had it running with that and I used it a lot and I loved it a lot. So, oh yeah, and open Mandriva, the KDE version, I only had that because for some reason, what was it? Yeah, there were people having trouble with Rock, Falcon didn't open, this didn't work, that didn't work. No, worked lots of things. What's the other one? Rome. So rocked, I think you could the welcome thing didn't open up, and then there's some little glitches, and then the same happened on Rome. There were other stuff going on, and I said, "Oh, screw this!" So I used the LXQT version. Spin somebody did, and that worked. And I think that's the old version. That is 5 and not 6 or whatever that is. What they have there. So, and that worked better. So I remember that Mageia had the same thing. Maybe it's jinxed going from 5 to 6. Because I used Mageia before, was very happy with it, and then it went to 6 and it went into pieces. Is it Mageia's fault? No, I don't think so. It is just the way it is, because sometimes software gets so much changed that is a huge chain reaction. And it's a team. It's not one brain. It's a team. It's teamwork. And that is hard work, I think, to fix that all. What I'm very happy is here is no neo-fetch. I don't have that on, and because there's, I don't know what these colors are on the bottom nowadays, but they insult my eyes. Yeah, if you fast fetch, neo fetch, bleh, it looks disgusting, these colors. I don't know. Whoever put these colors has no idea about beauty, design, or I'm not a designer either, but I know what looks good and what doesn't. And it just doesn't look good. So I'm back to the normal H-top inversion if I want to see something. And this is it. So back to Mageia. This is just part 2. So it's on hardware now. It will stay here for a long time. I think I can. I mean, I said the same as OpenMandriva because I had no reason to actually uninstall it. Mandriva did everything. OpenMandriva, yeah. It did everything. It worked fine. I'm not a KDE fan. You know, they all go wonky. You know, I mean, GNOME is nothing to talk about. There's just nothing. And KDE, I don't know. I don't like political abuse things, you know. The thing is, those who abuse this political, they have contributed nothing. They didn't even exist when KDE popped out of nowhere. And GNOME. Nobody they never existed, these creatures. Or Debian. They haven't been there. Yeah? Yeah. I don't know. So people hijack this and think, making some ugly colors somewhere and think, wonders what they did. Pardon me, you did nothing. Obviously. Absolute nothing. However, this is usually this channel is meant to get you out of this. We don't want to have DDoS attacks on our mind, heart and soul. So this is it now. So I'm done ranting. You see, in a moment I like that picture a lot. Because it reminds me almost like the sky looked before. But yeah, well, that's what it is now. Before the sky looked almost like this water here. Now it's still smear. If you think it's a blue sky, now look closer. You always see the smear. They sprayed the skies in the 1980s. It's disgusting. However, we're not letting them ruin our day. We live every day and make the best out of it. So Mageia, yeah, I like the control centrum. It's like, what's that called from OpenSUSE? They have a nice control centrum too. Cypher or something like that. But you see, I've installed remove software, update your system. Update your system, yeah. I did certain things. I come there back in part 3. I did something and, yeah, it updates, but I was surprised. Maybe I did something, I mean, all works, all good. No crashes, nothing got ruined, everything it keeps working, everything is doing good at job. So, but you see, they have everything in the, yeah, and it's easy. Software management, okay, install software, configure updates, update your system, media source, install updates. Hardware, everything is here too. And where is it? Set up graphical server. That's what I used on my Mageia installation on Android because it's an NVIDIA graphic card. But I made that video, I think. It's easier to boot into, with Mandriva, to boot into the NVIDIA driver and let it install it. And then you have it. And it's no flickering, everything is best driver chosen, everything is good. Yeah. Because when I did it, I did my manual install with the RPM Drake. And then I uninstalled it, installed this, and then, of course, usually just screw things up, right? And I did. The system did. The computer did. I would never make a mistake. I'll give you my politician word of honor. So, Manage your networks. Yeah, set up network, internet, LAN, ISD, network center, remove connection, proxy, manager. Perfect. I mean, yeah, there's a guy who said, "Oh, yeah, people shouldn't read it," but it's good to see what you got available here. So if you search for something, it's here, and I like it. But he was also right saying that that's what I usually did in my channel. I always put things in the real hardware. Because you can see the difference. Yeah, virtual software came a long way. I like virt-manager. I still like VirtualBox. I don't know why people all of a sudden know Slender VirtualBox. It has been good. We were all happy when it came out. It's free. It's available. It does things what virt-manager not can't do right now. It's good. Why in the world would I send it away? For example, with virt-manager, don't know if you can see it here now. Um, when you go, oh, where was it? Let's fire up virt-manager, then we can see. Oh yeah. On VirtualBox, you can say I want to on a 100 gigabyte drive, hard drive. You can say I want a 200 gigabyte drive, because VirtualBox uses only what it needs to do. virt-manager with QCOW2 is supposed to do the same thing, but no, see QCOW. So it's QCOW on it, but if you say we make a new one, forward this, browse. So here, where is it? var lib virt images. Or we go to var lib virt. Where are you? Hold on, var lib virt. Ah, I couldn't see it, you know. It's then in front of the forest and can't see a tree. Images. Look at that. 25 gigabyte. I gave it 25 gigabyte and it's all out. It says 25 gigabyte. It takes 25 gigabyte. And I installed usually, I used maybe 8. So it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Because on my Unraid server, I use QCOW. And when I say 85 gigabyte and I install the system and it has just 9 gigabyte for the installation, it is 9 gigabyte. Yeah. Let's see. So I'll just fire up, wake one of my servers out of the sleep. So this is YouTube. Just show you something. In a moment, tower shows up. There it is. Tower. File sharing. Going ISO files. No, not ISO files. We're going in domains. Click. And let's say rock LXQT boron QCOW. See, 8.5 gigabyte. Let's find something where I didn't make a snapshot. Sparky Linux. What do I have? Debian Slackware, Rocky Linux, Ghost BSD, Mageia 9. Mageia 9. Not there yet. Ah, yeah. Oops. Nobara. That's my gaming distro. LMD7. I don't have it installed yet. What do I have? Calculate. Calculate never worked. It just doesn't want to. Let's say antiques. QCOW 5.3 gigabyte, and I set it to 85. See, that's what I want. This is rubbish. So virt-manager, I know not a single distro I used. QCOW did what it's supposed to do. Because QCOW, this is QCOW, see? QCOW. It's not supposed to go over what is used. But this is exactly what I gave in. 25 gigabyte, boom. 25 gigabyte used. I don't want it to use 25 gigabyte. Right? So, but it did. So here, you see, that's 85 gigabyte. And what does it say? 5.3. Because that's what it used. So far, so much for virt-manager. Yeah, it's nice, but VirtualBox doesn't do this rubbish. This is rubbish. Because if you want to have little things here, like for that, that hard drive, I don't know what I give this. But in reality, so if you go here, where are the VirtualBox VMs? DZMe Linux. How big is it? 17 gigabyte. Yeah. And that is not much. No, I think I set it to, I don't know for much, how huge. So, oh, that's Salix. No, I don't want a Salix. Settings. Does it say the hard drive here? Storage? Oh yeah, virtual size 20 gigabyte, actual 16.97. So that's what I did, because all it has is this single thing. It's only going in my YouTube channel, uploading videos, putting that stuff in, done. So I might have made it smaller. However, so you see, it doesn't use it as much. Oh, Salix. Let's check Salix. So storage. Yeah, 20 gigabyte, actual size 7.27. This is what we want, right? What do I want all that space if I don't really use it? Here, 7.3. Yes, it's true. So when people rampage VirtualBox, they are not that smart, or they don't even know that virt-manager is not sticking with what it's supposed to do with QCar. However, that is that. So part 3. Part 3 will also be about Mageia, I guess, and that is about the codec running. So if you've installed, for example, simple screen recorder, I think my dog was just barking here, simple screen recorder, you get H.264 not available or something like that. And there's a workaround, a little fix, and it actually fixed it. But it took some time to figure it out. I know now, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Yeah, I might be able to do that in a virtual machine. Yeah, I think it will work in a virtual machine. And then we go from there. So however, open Mandriva, did everything I wanted to do. The only reason got out is because I am a distro hopper-ish. And of course here, what did I do? I make lots of videos here, and for special installation, they're going over the VirtualBox or little things, because I just don't want to uninstall my Mageia now to reinstall it, just to show how I got the codec H.264 working. That would be a little bit too much, even for me. So that's when I use virtual machines. In general, hardware is better, so semi-hardware like my Unraid virtualizer is much better. I like that, and that's where I run the most, I would think. Installation views, of course, here VirtualBox, and of course I've got my own thing running. You see, I want to separate my work environment, so it's in a virtual machine, purely work. YouTube, purely YouTube machine, and so on. So then I have a Google machine, an incognito machine, right? These kind of things. You have to have something which is isolated. So if something gets infected somehow, yeah, they break this one thing, right? And maybe one day I go in privacy too, or make it in between a privacy video, little things I do to keep myself safe and sound and all that stuff. Oh, where is it? Usually they put it, is it in tools? Key pass, yeah, that is. So I'll put my key pass in here. And I'd show you in another video, I think in a part 3, how I'm going to use Mageia and how I do manage all these things. Oh dear me, what did I do here? Click, that's better. All right, so yeah, I think I showed that in the other video, how to I removed that panel and put everything back in here and move this all around the way I like it. And that's okay now. And of course, time has to be in 24-hour system, how else? And that is that. I have to walk my little dog, because we will get very strong winds here. And no, that's not climate change, this is just winter. Well, if you live in the prairies, that's all it is. You get wind when it gets warm, right? And then comes a little bit snow and ice, rain and all that stuff. And it's not yellow, red or whatever, it's just what it is. And blizzards are blizzards, they're also not yellow or red. They come every year. Nothing really has changed, except what people want to make out of it. So, keep your mind safe and sound. Be carefully. When things don't work in a virtual machine, does not mean that distro is bad. I go a little bit into a shorter video again. So I just say VM disasters. So this is Mageia part 2, and I will make another video called VM disasters. And then I go in more detail what I experience and with what distro, and yeah, that is that. Okay, I wanted to do that video yesterday. I wanted to be a little bit more organized, but my head is not fully here. I walk my little dog now, get some food, and I eat something. And maybe I make that VM video already today. We'll see. But first I have to walk my little dog, give her some food before I get eaten. That hairy beast. However, I don't think anybody's listening that long because most people have no more attention span. Their attention span is 2 seconds. Because, I don't know. It's 1,000 times better than an AI video, I tell you that, because AI is absolutely dreadful. Alright, so I try to find channels which are not AI. Sadly, this old bloke died. I got that from somebody who commented on my video. That's terrible. I liked his videos actually. They were pretty good. And well, now he's dead. Okay, so we stay alive and we continue from here. So where is my pause, cancel, save record? I'll just go save recording. Okay guys, I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope I get better with my videos. Takes me a moment because I had a long break, didn't do anything, and now I have to get my head sorted. I don't do scripts and stuff like that, no AI-free stuff, and this is just how it is. Okay, guys. This is part 2, and the next video I think is VM disasters. Alright, have a good day or have a good night, and hope to see you soon. Keep your head out of the propaganda machines and stay mentally safe and sound. Bye bye.